Welcome to the Craftsman Cafe. I'm really excited. We're at Reclaimed Artisans, unique home decor, here right in Libertyvillle on Peterson Road. And I'm with Eric Struif, who is the owner. So wanted to just interview you, Eric, and kind of get to know you a little bit, put a face behind the business and all that kind of stuff. So Tell me a little bit about, first of all, how did you find this place? How'd you get in?
Well, it was actually by chance that we found this location. We had been looking several different buildings in the area, and we weren't able to find anything in Libertyvillle. And we were actually getting ready to sign a lease in Lindenhurst, and because I live in Lake Villa. We came to a garage sale here in the back room. It used to be the catalog section of the Libertyvillle Saddle Shop. Steve Martin, who owns the building, his wife and another family member were having a garage sale back there, and we just happened to stop in. And my wife and I looked around and said, wouldn't this be a great location for the store? And Steve said, well, we're going to be listing it for lease here pretty soon. And I mean, it was really
serendipity.
Things happen for a reason.
Yeah,
Let's just put it that way.
Absolutely.
I'm a believer in that for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Schaumburg.
Yeah.
I went through, I think we moved to Schaumburg. I was in third grade, all the way up through high school. Graduated in '85 from Schaumburg High School. And then I moved to Colorado. I was in Colorado for about 7 years.
Oh, wow. What part?
Well, I started out in Arvada, which is a suburb of Denver, and then moved up to Glenwood Springs. My father lived in Glenwood Springs at the time. It's in the Aspen Valley. And I was there for probably 7 years in Colorado.
Tell me a little bit about your career trajectory, because I'm interested in how you got here. This is a really cool space. It's a very, you're seeing more and more of this type of thing, or I'd love your opinion on it. Are we seeing more and more of this type of thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Happening, or?
Yeah, everybody wants to, everything's going green. People want to recycle, and this store really shows what you can do with recycled furniture, recycled wood, the old barn products that are coming down. People are making things. Pieces of furniture that would normally be put out on the curbside and thrown in the dumpster are being refinished here, painted, and just brought back to life, finding new homes. And it's the artwork that people are doing, the creativity, it's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. It's really cool. I'm looking around here and I'm seeing an old Singer sewing machine piece with a real nice top on it. It's very unique. So getting back to the career trajectory, what'd you do out of high school, college, whatever?
Well, in Colorado, I did a couple different jobs here and there, and then I met some people that would become lifelong friends. I started doing sheet metal there. And then I got into architectural metals, which is the exterior roofing metals. So when I moved back to Illinois, I right away went to work for a company here in Libertyvillle.
Oh, wow.
Back in '95, Weber Metals, which doesn't exist anymore.
Where was that?
It was over on Route 176, back behind the John Deere dealership.
Yeah. And what did they do?
It was roofing metals. So we made flashings, exterior, interior metals, but it was more for residential roofing, the roofing industry. So I started working with copper there, and then I guess I just started getting more crafty with it, and just got to the point where I was doing more of the decorative metal work than anything else. So I worked for a couple of companies over the years. I had my own business back in 2000, creating interior, exterior copper work.
So is that like hoods of
Yeah, kitchen hoods, dormers, We could do kitchen counters. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you could do with metals.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's just great stuff. I loved doing that work.
Do you still do it a little bit?
Every once in a while,
When you
yeah.
have time?
The last couple of years have been pretty much trying to get the store going.
Okay, got it. Tell me, soup to nuts, what the store is all about. I know you have consignment here. You've got rental space. You got raw wood. Give me the whole gamut.
Okay. We wanted to try to make a store that was all home decor.
Okay.
We really wanted to cater to that part of the industry. We didn't want it to be like an indoor garage sale type space or flea market, indoor flea market. We wanted something a little bit more special, more catering towards home decor and the creativity that surrounds that whole part of the business.
Right.
So my wife wanted me to do something a lot smaller than this, and I always envision, as a lot of guys do, envision something much bigger.
Bigger is better.
Well, and as we got into it, she was terrified, and she actually got me to a point where I was terrified after we got into building this whole space. I had a lot of help from family members. My dad came to help, my sons, my brother-in-laws, my wife.
That's cool.
I mean, it was just a huge family thing, and then we had some friends come over as well. We did all the build out here. So,
how long did it take you?
actually, we got into the space October 10th, and we got our inspection done December 5th.
Wow, you guys are working hard.
I was here every day, 12 hours a day.
Wow.
We wanted to be open a little bit sooner for the Christmas shopping.
Okay.
And that's why the few vendors that we had when we opened kind of said, hey, let's try and open before the Christmas season.
Sure.
So we got our inspection on the 5th, and we opened to the public the 9th.
Wow.
So
Yeah, it was like the 50-yard dash, man.
it was. Yeah, we had 10 vendors that had rented spaces, and then we had about maybe 10 or 12 consigners when we opened our doors. Now we have over 105 vendors total.
Wow.
So it went very quickly. We had our grand opening February 3rd, and by that time we were completely full.
That's great. How was it working with the village?
Village was fantastic. I had never done anything like this.
Okay.
And they really walked us through, from the time we walked in the door over at the village, they really walked us through the whole process, what we needed to do, step by step. We had inspectors that would come out and check on us once in a while to see what we were doing, telling us what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And they really made it more of an enjoyable process. I was dreading the whole thing, working with the city, because I'd never done it before.
Yeah.
And
Well, you hear stories of various villages that are tough to work with. That's why I was asking. It's good to hear that Libertyville was made it easy for you.
Sure. Yeah, they were just. It was great to have them, and they really promote their store as well here too.
Yeah.
They're all about business, small business, everything that they try to do with the businesses in town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just an incredible group of people. It's been very easy to work with them.
Yeah, so you've been received well by the community?
Absolutely. Better than we could have anticipated, actually.
Gosh, that's great, man.
Yeah. By the time we had our grand opening, we had almost 3,000 people walk through the door that day.
Wow.
Over the 4 days, it was just it was a crazy time. We had gone right from a total build out to a move in to a grand opening.
Gosh, that's great, Eric.
I think I had about 3 days off from October 10th until February 3rd.
And we're doing this on your day off.
Sorry,
Mike.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's all right. That's what I do. And they'll tell you that I don't normally take any days off anyway. I always end up here sometime during the day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Thanks.
What's your favorite? I see all these awesome tables. That's kind of my thing. Seeing all these wonderful wood tables, and the creativity is very apparent. Do you have any favorite items that you love getting, whether it's consignment or people bringing in through the vendors?
Well, any of the wood products are just amazing. Like you said, the creativity of some of the items here. A live edge slab on top of an old sewing machine base, or a table made of old window sashes, where he takes the window sashes apart and he sands them down and makes a whole dining room table out of them.
It's a really beautiful piece.
Absolutely. The people that are bringing in the artwork, a lot of the window sashes that are being used and made with all of the different words and phrases that they come up with. It's just amazing. And the old furniture, that's one of my favorites too. Some of the older pieces of furniture that they're redoing, it's just amazing.
I have to ask you, so a friend of mine, Jody, I think brought in a shelf for you guys to repaint or something?
Okay.
So you do that type of stuff?
Absolutely.
So
a lot of our vendors do that as part of their service. So we provide that service. If you have a piece of furniture that you're looking to redo, we can absolutely hook you up with one of the vendors to paint that piece of furniture for you, or refinish it if that's your choice.
So, and you also have raw wood. Tell me a little bit about that, and who buys that and why?
Well, a lot of the customers will come in looking for the barnwood. Barnwood is being used by so many people now. I think the preservation of that old wood is really important. I think it's a huge part of this business. That's why we call ourselves Reclaimed. We're repurposing, we're reusing all of these items. So our friends up in Antioch, Born Again Barns, they have a business where they take down barns.
Okay.
They also have a mill. It's a portable mill. So they take down trees, and they can mill those trees into whatever types of wood, different sizes of lumber that you need. Live edge slabs, which are very popular right now.
Yeah.
And I think they have one of the largest selections of dark walnut in the entire area.
So who do you find uses that? Is that kind of run the gamut between carpenters and commercial? I would imagine commercial.
It is, yeah.
Is big now too.
Contractors use that. A lot of restaurants are using that as decoration pieces. Their countertops, our countertops are dark walnut. They'll also reuse a lot of the wood for the sidings, the ceilings, the old beams from the barns they're using in the restaurants, and then as well as residential. So a lot of DIYers will come in looking for different pieces of wood. They're doing a bar in their home, or they want to decorate their island or their bedroom, the whole wall. They'll do in barnwood on the back wall. So it's a very popular
That's cool.
Commodity right now.
Talk a little bit about the vendors. Do you have a waiting list to get in, or how does all that work?
We do. Right now we have about 20 people on a waiting list.
Wow.
20? It's
That's great.
Yeah.
It's good.
It is. It's a good
challenge
problem to have
right?
right now. Yeah, it is. In such a short time that we have that many is great. We really do have the best vendors in home decor in the area. I believe that, and I've said that several times. People will hear me say that. We have people that haven't been doing this for very long.
Mm-hmm.
Some, this is their very first spot, and they've done very well, and they're very creative. We have people that are taking old wine bottles and cutting the tops off of them and making candles. And then their mother is taking those pieces and putting them in a tumbler, and she makes art out of the glass and rocks and things. It's just so creative group of people. It's amazing.
Yeah, I saw a table over there that had kind of this lacquer on it, and it looked like pebbles, gravel inside. It was a real cool effect.
Sure.
And then kind of bordered by this beautiful piece of wood. And, you know, you look at some of this stuff and you go, wow, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
But it really works.
It's a river table. They call it a river table.
Table.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's actually a pretty popular thing now. You'll see it. I've seen companies that have their whole table in their I don't know,
conference
rooms.
Yeah.
Larger tables. They have 2 live edge slabs come together, and in the center it's an epoxy that they put different colors
cool
in.
Look.
Yeah,
it's a really cool look. Now you're going to do classes, or you're doing classes. Tell me a little bit about that.
We are. We just started our classes, DIY classes.
Okay. Painting
classes, some art classes. Next week we have a class coming up that you can make a tray. So you come in and you make a wood tray to bring home.
Yeah. It's like the old woodshop class, man.
Yeah.
Back in high school.
Yeah, you can come in and we'll have a lot of classes coming up. We're just getting started with those. We've had some transfers and stamp classes already from Gina, Vintage Charm.
Okay.
And then Cheers for Creativity. There's all these different names of the businesses too, which is great. But Cheers to Creativity has the tray that she's going to be showing how to make, and then several other classes are going to be starting up here.
So you have literally a wood shop in the back.
We have a small shop in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a classroom back there. We can accommodate up to about 30 people, I would say.
Wow, that's
But right now I'm using it as some of the wood, when I do some of the woodwork.
Okay, gotcha. So you have this space that we're sitting in now, which is right off of the front door, but then you walk through an aisle and you've got a whole nother section of more vendors back there, right?
Sure.
That's great. What are you most excited about with the business? I mean, it sounds like you got a great start. The village was good to you. You've been received well. I mean, what's next? How is it evolving? What are you pumped about?
Well, I think the thing that I'm happiest about is being able to have as many vendors as we do. This whole front section of this room is a consignment area. They're just for the first time making things. Some are just getting started. They've never made stuff like this before. They're just finding their creativity. And what this area of the store does, it gives them a place to see where they want to go with their future.
Right.
And it really, that's really what this is all about. It's all about the vendors. The rented spaces, you know, some of the vendors have spaces in other stores.
Okay.
For some, this is their first space. For some, it's their third space. But what it does, it really finds a home for all of this creativity. And I think my part, the thing that I like the most, is having so many people involved.
Yeah. You really have a community here.
Yeah, we do. And hopefully the ones that are just starting out doing these things that are consigning here continue to be creative, continue to find their place in this business, and just grow it that way. This gives them the opportunity to do that. If we just had all spaces in here, you would cut it down to how many people you could have in here. If I could, threw 10 more spaces into the building here, I would take away from about 70 people that are being creative that can't afford to do.
So the consignment piece is kind of part of your DNA.
I think the consignment part really gives people that stepping stone to build their business.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Awesome.
To find their niche in the market.
Do you ever say no to items?
We do. Yeah, unfortunately, we're trying to keep on the path with home decor.
Okay.
And we're trying to keep it, I don't want to use the word upscale, but we're trying to keep it a little bit upscale as far as home decor.
Sure.
And I believe that we're on the right path for keeping it that way. We've had to say no to electronics.
Okay.
We don't do any electronics. We don't do...
well, it could devolve, kind of, if you start...
Yeah, it hasn't happened much. I mean, even when you get into vintage and antique type furniture, even the slightest bit of damage to some of those pieces, wicker pieces or something like that, it's just not desirable.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of the people are redoing. They'll take the top off of an old desk and put a piece of reclaimed wood on there,
Right.
or things like that. So.
Well, the parameters or the quality aspect of it shows, because you can walk around the whole place, which I've done, and the pieces are all they're quality pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Who's buying this stuff? I mean, is there a profile of your customer? Are a lot of people buying these for their homes or their second homes, or I mean, what's the profile of a customer so far?
So far, well, I would say still about 75% of the people that walk in the door have never been here before.
Okay.
So they're still finding us. Even as many people that have become regular customers, we still have people walking in the door for the first time. So I would say the average homeowner is coming in the door looking to decorate that one room or the one spot on their wall. And as they're hearing about us more, and when they walk through the door and you tell them, you know, this is our consignment area, and then we have 10 spaces up here, and then you say, and there's a whole nother room with 25 more spaces in the back, they're just blown away at how big it is.
Yeah.
And as they walk through and they come out from the back room, they just praise us for what we've done here. And it's really not us, it's not my wife and I, it's the vendors. We provided a canvas for them, and they've painted the whole space.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really how I look at it.
That's great.
It wouldn't be anything without the vendors. But yeah, I would say the average homeowner is the one that walks through the door the most. And then we do get interior decorators are coming in.
That makes sense.
Trying to find some things for their clients. Mm-hmm. We have real estate agents coming in. They're staging some of the homes that they're doing, so they pick up things here and there too. Okay.
And you've mentioned your wife Lisa a few times. This is really a family business. It sounds like obviously you said that your family really helped you with the build out and everything.
Absolutely.
It sounds like everybody's involved.
Absolutely. Lisa works very hard. She has her regular job that she works, and then she comes in, she'll stop on the way home, and she'll move things around, and she comes in on the weekends and she works the counter, and my sister-in-law comes in on Tuesdays and Fridays, along with we have our first part-time employee now that comes in and helps out, so that I can get my one day off.
Yeah, right. There you go. You need time for yourself too.
Yeah, hopefully that'll turn into a little bit more, but because everybody needs some time. I need to work in my garden. That's what I need to get on next. But
well, it sounds like you're obviously a very creative person. You've got the entrepreneurial spirit. I love that. So you're a gardener too?
Yeah, actually, I have a vegetable garden in the back. My wife plants all the flowers and things that we decorate around the house. But yeah, I have a vegetable garden that I put in every year, and I think the last couple of years I've done about 60 jars of salsa and had all kinds of lettuce and things that we do.
You could sell that stuff here.
I would have to check into that with the city, but as easy as they've been,
they
I
won't
could
know
probably.
Anything. Don't worry about it, man.
I actually have a couple jars over in the cabinet. I'll give you one. Yeah.
God, that's interesting, man. What other hobbies you have?
Oh, fishing.
Fisher, okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
I fished professionally for a little while.
No
Short
kidding.
while, yeah, just a short while, from 2004 to 2009, I think.
Wow.
Ran around the country with my hair on fire with some friends, bass fishing, yeah. And my sons were into fishing. Tyler is still into fishing. Sam's more of a golfer. We golf together, and then my other son and I, we fish more together. So.
Wow, you're like a Renaissance man. You're making salsa, golfing, gardening.
Yeah, well,
Copper.
I enjoy golfing.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
do.
That's awesome.
Hitting that little white ball can be frustrating sometimes.
Tell me about it.
But fishing the same, you know.
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
days when you don't catch much, but that's more to me is just being out on the water with somebody is what it's all about.
Yeah, it's therapeutic.
Yeah,
big
it
time.
is.
I think golfing is too, if you let it.
Sure.
You know, it can be frustrating, but it's very therapeutic. You're outside and beautiful. So do you have any events coming up? Tell me a little bit about what's on the docket, because I think you mentioned last Friday, and then there's something else.
The last Friday of every month, we have what's called Wine and Wander, and that's with Dover Saddlery next door. We have a doorway that's open between the two spaces. We'll have some wine and snacks here. That'll be held every last Friday of every month from 5 to 8.
From 5 to 8, last Friday of the month?
Yep.
What are your hours, too, by the way?
Our hours, we're open from Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, and then Sunday, 10 to 4.
Okay, got it. Another event coming up?
We do. We're just getting ready to announce this to the public. By the time this comes out, it may already be to the public. We're having our first outdoor event in the parking lot. It's not really a rummage sale. It's not really a flea market. We're just calling it the Reclaimed Artisans Outdoor Market.
So you going to do tents or just
We are.
move
We're going to
stuff out
have.
there?
We'll have about 30 to 40 spaces out there, tents that people can set up. They'll have all of their items that they can put in there, as much home decor as we can get.
Okay, cool.
Things like that. Some unique finds. That's what we're all about. We're working with the city right now to try and get some food vendors out there. We've got some live music that's going to be played.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, Saturday I think we have a person that I hadn't heard before play.
Who's that?
Jim Carroll, I think is his
Oh, yeah, I
name.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
so
good.
He plays in the area. He's going to be playing on Saturday.
He's a great guy.
And then we have L&M Experience, who also plays in the area.
Okay.
And they'll be playing on Sunday.
Wow, that's
and
wonderful.
then
It's like a festival.
Mickey Finn. It is, yeah, absolutely. Mickey Finn's is talking about possibly coming out. We haven't finalized that yet, but they've shown some interest in coming out for the couple days.
You gotta have beer.
Have to have some beer and wine to walk around, sure.
Right.
So, yeah, this is going to be our first event. We hope to have one in the spring and then one in the fall.
Okay.
Every year.
Well, that's great, man. Well, thanks so much for taking the time. It's great getting to know you. And a big shout out to Steve Martin for setting this up and just being a great friend and landlord, right?
Yeah, Steve's great. I couldn't have a better landlord, really. He's been on board with promoting the store. He's had a lot of friends come in. He's lived in the area. His family's been a part of this community for a long time. And yeah, he's just really easy to work with. And yeah, I really thank him for getting
when I
us
saw
together.
him, he put something on Facebook that there's a new place, and he was teasing everybody at the DMV, the old DMV. He said, I can't tell you what it is yet. But now we're all dying to know what the hell's going on over there.
I haven't heard either. Yeah, he hasn't.
You can't spill the beans or anything? You don't know?
No, I haven't. But they're going to get a lot of our traffic. Because what's funny is the iPhone right now, when you put in our address, it takes you to the old DMV.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They haven't been able to fix that yet. I don't have an iPhone, so I can't fix it either. So, yeah, hopefully we can get that straightened out before that business opens up.
Well, thanks so much, man. I appreciate your time. And
thank you.
Thanks for the tour and showing us around. And that's a wrap, George.